Hello and welcome to Vegan Cafe 21. Today we are making cranberry walnut bundt cake, a vegan cranberry walnut bundt cake. So let's get started. I'm going to walk you through the ingredients that we are going to use. To start with, I have 2 cups of sugar in this bowl here. Over this sugar, I'm going to sift 3 cups of bread flour. So I'm going to put the flour in first. And that is 3. There. Now, I'm going to add the dry ingredients on top of this flour. I have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. There goes the baking powder. I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Here I have 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. So these are our dry ingredients. So the total of 5 of them: sugar, flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. And I'm going to sift it real quick. It's important to sift our dry ingredients because a lot of times there are these impurities in either flour or, there may be tiny balls in the baking powder or baking soda. So you want to make sure you have nice clean stuff in your bowl, and also helps aerate your, now as you can see, these are the impurities that are left in our sifter, and the sifting also helps aerate the flour. So having done that, we are now going to sort of whisk the dry ingredients to help incorporate everything that we have added to this point, because as you can see, I had sugar at the bottom of the bowl. So I'm going to whisk it so our sugar, flour, and the other ingredients are all nicely and happily mixed together. There, that's all we need to do. Now to this, I'm first going to add 1 cup of cranberries and 1 cup of chopped walnuts. The reason you want to add them first before adding your wet ingredients to this mix is if you don't do this at this point, chances are your cranberries are going to settle at the bottom of your baking pan, and you don't want that. You want them nicely incorporated in the entire cake that you're preparing, not just at the bottom or on one side of the batter. So there we go. That's simple. Before I add the wet ingredients, let me just tell you what I did here. I have a 10-inch baking pan, bundt cake baking pan that I have already sprayed with non-stick baking spray. And also I started preheating my oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So our oven is nice and hot and waiting for us when we are ready with our cake batter. All right, so now I'm going to add the wet ingredients. We have 2 cups of water, cold water. That's 1 cup. And here's the 2nd cup. To this, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of canola oil. You can use coconut oil if you prefer melted coconut oil. That would be just fine, but I'm using canola oil. Just remember not to use any oil that has any smell to it. To this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Again, if you don't have apple cider vinegar, no worries. You can use white vinegar if that's what you have. And there you have it. It's that simple. Now you just want to mix it all nicely. Now remember, you don't want to mix your cake batter. Not just this, any cake batter. You don't want to overmix it, because if you do, it's going to result in some stiff finished product, and we don't want that. You just want to gently fold your ingredients in and make sure you have nice lump-free smooth batter. And it won't take you that long. It's a fairly quick process. And remember to also mix it in one direction, because we are trying to fold in air as we are mixing in the ingredients into a nice smooth batter. And also I'm coming from the bottom of the bowl to the top to make sure there's nothing escaping. As you can see, there's some dry flour and sugar that's trying to hide all the way at the bottom of the bowl. We are not going to let them do that. We will go nice and deep, folding it, and I think we got everything from the bottom of the bowl. Yep, it looks like it's all in here. And now we just go ahead and pour it into our greased bundt cake pan. You can keep moving the pan, and there we have it. I'm going to use all of the batter. We got it all. I'm going to now set the towel at the bottom and sort of tap the pan gently to get all the air bubbles out and make sure we have a nice level batter in the pan, which we do. I'm going to get a little paper towel and wipe off this batter that dripped, just so it doesn't bake in places we don't want it to be. There we go. All set. Our oven is already at 350 degrees Fahrenheit waiting for us. I'm going to walk the cake over to the oven and slide it in there. Set the timer for 55 minutes. That's how long it's going to take. And there you have it. In 55 minutes, once the timer goes off, we're going to pull the cake out of the oven, let it rest for about 15 minutes before we invert it on the cooling rack. And after 15 minutes, get it on the rack and then let it cool for about a couple of hours before we slice it, and it'll be ready to serve. So I'll see you once it's done. Hi. Welcome back. So here's the cake. I pulled it out of the oven and it's pretty cool to touch and ready to be inverted onto a cooling rack. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. There we go. Just give it a few taps and let's gently try to, voila. There we go. Here's our vegan cranberry walnut bundt cake. I think in about an hour or so it's going to be ready for you to enjoy with your choice of beverage. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you again soon with a brand new recipe.